Let's see. So this your drawings are really cool. Like I think you understood the assignment in respect to with respect to pushing pushing it, but you need to pay attention to your draw. Like first of all, this part is too short. So if you think about this, this part is short and then this part is long. The the problem with this thing when in CG or in animation generally is that if you're doing this for illustration purposes, okay, that could work. But in animation, the problem with this is that if you fold this arm upwards, so what's if she folds her arm, what you get will be something like this. So it means that if she wants to, let's say she wants to she wants to touch her face, for example. If she wants to touch her face, how is she going to touch her face? This is where her face is. Her face is here. Let's say she wants to put something in her mouth. She will have to straight. Like I cannot imagine how she's going to do that work in order for the hand because the hand is too long. This part is too long. So how is she going to put that hand inside of her mouth? You see the problem with this thing. So you want to so the advisable thing is when drawing like this, try to make, if at all there's any difference between the two, it shouldn't be too much. Okay, like something like this is much more practical, but when it's too long like this, it becomes a problem.
Hi, my name's Tisha Wade. I'm currently an animation student and I'm a birth doula. And this class I feel like was really very outside of my comfort zone. I have more of a background in like fine arts. And so even though it's really out of my comfort zone, I feel like I've been learning how to like teach myself and how to take the lessons that we did here and carry them like over once we're no longer here. I feel like it's easy to like feel like we like it's easy to take a class and like be like this is so great, but I feel like we have so many skills and so many new like words and like phrases like the 49th sketch and yeah, synopsis, and like everyone has referenced like the references and just different things to like ground us in our practice and to like for us to continue our education. And I really valued the way that we all work together. This is like the blackest and most international I've ever been a part of. So I just feel grateful to be in this like particular with this particular group of people and also to be like learning how to make characters that, you know, we resonate with. And I really resonated with the idea of like the unconscious versus like subconscious. And I think we've just been like I've really been learning how to like really think about what I'm doing while I'm doing it because I think I'm more so of an intuitive artist. And so this has been helping me like ground and like ground more in the basics.
This course is now available for purchase on Gumroad.
So keep that back of your mind. Then your anatomy, try to draw out these hands. Don't run it. Like don't try to escape the idea of drawing hands. Draw it out. I don't know if you use reference for this thing, but if you didn't if you use reference, then you probably would see it. If there's no reference, then you have to figure it out yourself. If it means you taking a picture of your own hands or looking for another reference of a character that is posed similarly like this, you have to find it and draw draw the hands. So this character, it looks like she's walking, so both legs are planted on the ground at the same time. In that case, okay, look at this, pay attention to your knee as well, the knee. When you draw knee, put the knees there. So if the two legs are planted at the same time, then the hip arrangement can be straight. This one is interesting too. See the shape. What you're trying to do with the shape there. But you need to make your, I don't know if you draw, I mean, there's nothing wrong with drawing with a pen. You can draw with a pen, you can do traditional, but I was wondering if you have a tablet. If you have a tablet, it will be better because you can, erase, you can move things around here and there. Because not everybody has the discipline to be able to draw with a pen. I mean, I don't even draw with a pen, I draw with pencil and tablets. I don't draw with a pen. It requires a lot of discipline. Not saying I'm not disciplined, but it's just not my thing to draw with pen. So if you want to draw with a pen, it's fine. Just make sure that your lines are clean, like not clean but decisive. So avoid, you see, all these lines that are like multiple lines like this, you need to try to avoid them as much as possible and make it cleaner, make it more decisive. But it looks like you actually have a good handle of lines, a good control of lines, because I can see this line work here. You have a good sense of line. So yeah, I'm not complaining about your lines. I'm not complaining about your lines at all. It looks like you're very comfortable with using a pen to draw. So I'm not going to complain about that again. Please draw your hands. Like these hands, I need to see what's going on with the hands. I don't know what he did here. Like I'm not sure what she's doing with her hands. The men too are also very good. I like this one. Looks like Michael Phelps. I like the size of the head compared to the body. Like it's really, really, really cool. Well, you can still push the shapes a little bit more. Like you can still push the shapes. Sorry. Okay, this one you actually drew the hands. You drew the hands for this one. Yeah, this one is really cool. The shape language. But you need to try to avoid putting too much details. Like all these muscles, we don't really need to see all this stuff. You can just, suggest. You can put like suggestive lines, but you don't need too much detail there. I can already see that he's muscular, so he already has a muscular frame. So we don't need to see every detail, every muscle. Yeah, but this guy is cool. So yeah, the knee. We need to talk about the knee. So first of all, the entire leg. When drawing legs, and you have to think about the male frame. The male frame is different from the female frame, but the anatomy is almost the same in terms of musculature. So the knee is, again, from Michael Matez's book on force. You have to pay attention to these movements here. So in order for this knee to pop out like this, there has to be like a directional force coming this way from this side, and then it creates this directional force that pushes this one out. So you have to pay attention to these things. Then also the way he's placed his knee is not very practical, because for the knee to be facing here, like you can't have the feet pointing out this way. It seems unnatural. If his feet is pointing out like this, his knee will be almost pointing in the same direction as his feet. So, but if his feet is facing the front, like the way, like what you've drawn here, then his legs will be facing the front, like almost facing the front like this. So the placement of the direction the direction the knee faces determines where the feet will face. If you get what I mean. This guy is also not bad. It looks like it's drawn in a similar style as this one. But you need to pay attention to your foreshortening. Like this leg is coming this way. This other leg, I don't know if you use a reference for this. And he has a big feet, so it has to be bigger than this. Even the way his leg is planted in the ground is not realistic, because he's running for his legs to be foreshortened, for this part of his legs to be foreshortened. This feet has to be in 3/4 front view. Like we can't, the feet cannot be on the side, like cannot be side view, it should be like 3/4 front. Please draw your hands. Draw this hand. Draw this hand. I don't know what this hand is supposed to be doing. Yeah, so yeah, this other guy too is also interesting. Like I like how small head, big body. This one is definitely endo. So you need to think about the wrinkles, like the folds of the cloth. It seems like you're struggling in that part. His hands be lifted up like this. There's going to be a lot of wrinkles coming down from that point. Yeah, this one is cool. I like this one a lot. Like I love the shape language for this one a lot. I love your shape languages. It's just the intent. The intent is very clear, but the execution needs work. But your intent is very clear and interesting. Hi guys. So in the fall of 2025, I got to host an 8-week masterclass titled Ethnic Character Design for Animation, which had a decent number of signups. I got to share a ton of rich information, secrets, industry insights that I used to craft an award-winning character like Noni, Eyes of Wakanda. The sessions were archived and compiled into a digestible course.
This course is now available for purchase on Gumroad. So if you are an intermediate level artist seeking to diversify your portfolio to include culturally grounded characters in animation, then this is for you.
All right. So we're going to move on to the next one. Okay, so these assignments, I have to look at all of them at once. First of all, let's be reminded this is retired mentor, shaman. This guy's not like him, guiding our heart, strict, fierce, wise, towering. Okay, I like this. This towering is a very physical description. She's towering. So obviously she has to be tall. That means these ones are out, automatically eliminated. Okay, this one's they look tall. This one looks tall. Okay, so I'm thinking this one has potential. these ones, they don't look complete. Like, you need to finish your drawings. It doesn't look complete. It looks like something that was rushed, you know. This one, I don't understand what's going on here. Like, I don't know what your intention was in this part. I don't understand it. This one looks reasonably finished. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm only seeing one drawing and two, three, four. I'm seeing 4 drawings, but I'm leaning towards number 2 here and number 1 here. But between the two, if she's a towering person, I think this one works the most. So I think you should, when you're handing over next week, this one is what you're handing over. But you need to clean up this drawing. Like, it doesn't look presentable. Like, if handing this thing over to someone else, how are they supposed to work with this? Because they're supposed to draw like costumes on top of this, so you need to rework this sketch. I like the slimness of her face, all these things are not bad. The slimness of her face, her slim body frame. I can see that she's leaning, she almost has like a hunchback. And then she's going to be like, I think she should be like sorry, not meso, ecto, endo. She has a little bit of endo, but she's skinny, so maybe you can have like, according to what you've done here anyway, that's what I'm using. You can have like skinny features there. Should have drawn her legs, because this is not a costume, this is not a finished character. So we need to see, you need to draw all these things out. Draw all the hands. Draw the hand. You see the way you paid attention to all these guys? That's how you should have paid attention to this one. Because of time, I can't do all this. I can't draw all these things. I can only give you notes. Should have drawn out, like, done a nude version, like, of her, so we'll see her body underneath. Draw all these things out and give her this limp, like, give her this like hunchback type of feeling, but not a hunchback. But when someone is old, their back tends to hump. She's skinny, but she has a little bit of fat in her hands, and the other hand is here. This head is leaning a bit too forward, so maybe what we'll do is we'll move her body forward. And then this is her face. I'm not going to draw the face. My assumption is that you took someone else's face that I approved from last week. So I'm not drawing any face. Alright, so this is what I think. Then as time goes on, we'll start to put all the costumes and all. I'm not bothered about costume yet. I'm thinking about her frame, her figure first. And then she's skinny, so there'll be some bone here. If you want this file, I can send that to you on Discord. That's all. Thanks.